It is late at night, and we are off the grid. And while both of those things are true, I truly cannot vouch for anything else going on in the world. But here we are. It's a Friday night. I hope everybody is comfortable and warm and getting what they need. I say that because I'm not uncomfortable, but I'm cold. I'm in the coldest room in the house right now. I'm not like my friend Huckleberry here, who's in the warmest room in the house. I gotta get a live look in on the Huck. Can you even see him there? He's on the couch. He's just passed out. It's like a cozy 72 down there. I'm up above the garage, so I'm a little bit frostier up here. But we did make some. This is kind of what it looked like. Here was a live look in. This was Huck this morning. Oh, super great granddad. Hey, it's BJ. Hey, BJ. What's up, brother? I did look up your grandmother's obituary. I believe it was your grandmother. It might have been your great grandmother. Remarkable woman. Really, your great granddad, your granddad. These are really tremendous people. I feel really honored to have kind of had that back and forth with him. So thanks a bunch, and thanks a bunch for popping on tonight. It's late, man. You guys stay up late. You guys are crazy like I am. Well, anyway, that was your grandma. That was your grandma. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of cool things about that obituary. She was certainly a woman who had a lot of different skills and strengths and contributed a lot to this country. And two things that strike, I mean, now that we're just getting down this conversation, we'll get to power. We'll get to the power check in a second. To be honest, this is part of the power check because this is how I can live off the grid and why I have a voice to talk about it. And so two things that I thought were really cool. I get back to the comments because I can't. Your grandpa's in bed. That's good. I'm glad. Thank you. And honestly, thank you for taking such good care of him. You could tell it means a lot and it makes a difference. But anyway, your grandma, two things, because we're talking about back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, she was involved in a fairly high level. I suppose if I knew any more about her clearance, she'd have to kill me kind of thing. She was involved in the military at a really high level, and I don't think a lot of women had that position. I think there was just a different hierarchy and social structure at that point, but she broke that ceiling, and she was in a significant position of trust and power in this country, which is pretty cool. And the other thing that I thought was neat was that she worked kind of in like technology intelligence, for lack of a better word. And in 1965, to be working in technology intelligence, and it was neat that she had clearances to be on the Air Force One, and she, sort of had a prestige, you could tell, within what she did and who she worked with, that it didn't matter if she was knitting or whether she was working to save the country. That's a great lady right there. And your dad, I mean, he flew gunner in those airplanes and a lifelong commitment to the Air Force, to our country. So again, please share my thanks to your grandfather, but and your grandmother too. I was thinking about her, so I know she's in my thoughts and prayers, and just I'm proud of you guys. So appreciate that. Starting off with that. But how much power did we make? Thanks to your grandparents, how much power did we end up making today? Because we can, and because technology. So today was actually great because we finally filled up our power walls. It's like there's very few days in December and January and February where we're really able to top ourselves off. And so this was a look in. I don't know if I have this morning's where we actually were. Oh no, this morning we were not full, but we had a nice blue sky day today. So we filled ourselves up, topped off the batteries, and it worked out really well. So how much power did we make today? So I took this at 10. So this was a couple hours ago that I screenshotted our power outage. Your grandpa, yeah, absolutely. No, thanks for jumping on again, brother. So we made, I'd say, as much power. We used 21 kilowatts today, which I'd say was about average. We're in the 15 to 25 range. So really 20 kilowatts, I'd say, is what we tend to function on. Oh, it's a video. I love video. See, you made me read the whole thing, and you had a video the whole time. You held it in your back pocket. That's awesome. I would love to see it. We don't have a Tesla. So what we have is a Hyundai Ioniq 5. And the reason that we have that car is because, especially at the time when we bought it, it was a few years ago, it does vehicle to load. So we have a little adapter we can plug into the Hyundai. and we could pull power out of the battery pack, and we could power our house with that, which we usually do. We're not tonight. Tonight's one of the first nights in a while we haven't been doing that. But Teslas don't do that. Which is surprising / not surprising. So surprising because Tesla has the hardware, the software, the integration, the technology. They have the manpower to get that all done. If anybody should have vehicle to grid and vehicle to home, it should be Tesla, just because their other business is building home battery storage. Their other business is building solar. So this is not a difficult thing for them to integrate. But by turning a Tesla into a battery, I kind of feel like they don't do it because they're going to be competing against themselves. So now they've got this car that, why would somebody get 2 or 3 power walls when they could just, have their car to switch on and off, to not necessarily function off grid, because not everybody has to live like we do. We bought our land really cheap, and because of that, like, nobody thought we could build much here, and we were able to. And so we're just off grid by nature of the context of where we got our land, but we're not far from anything. We're not isolated from anything. And I think that having the ability to have on-grid, off-grid options is great. And so Tesla would be like prime to do that, and they don't. I don't know. Do you have an electric vehicle down there or anything? Cybertrucks would power the house, but Cybertrucks need a whole different arrangement instead of integration, hardware, and really sub-paneling and things like that is different than just your traditional generator setup. So that's why we don't have a Tesla. That, and the fact that I think Elon Musk has gone a little bonkers. I mean, but you got to be a little bonkers to be a little genius, I suppose. There's a little trade-off there. So it goes. But I'm grateful for our Tesla system. Here we were today. Well, that was yesterday. So today we used 20 kilowatts. Yesterday we used 8.9. We really slimmed it down. We scooted by with not a lot of power yesterday. So that was a good thing. But today, and then the day before that, 22.2, 16.8, 15.8, 20. You can see, so we're at 20, I think, is a number to stick with. If we're going to round up, we could call it 25. No, did you have a lot of Teslas down there? Are there a lot of, do you see any Cybertrucks down there? Do you see any, or like, what's the most popular electric vehicle you see down in Texas? And I would say the sunshine down there is tremendous. So I do read a lot of articles about the substantial amount of solar power being created. So I got to imagine you see some of that going up too. I don't know, but it's just like the conditions there for producing sunshine is just, frankly, just a lot better than it is here. And we get away with it here, but right now in this season, we just scoot by. So it'd be nice to have a little more sunshine. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. I'll check the weather here too, but I don't know if it's as cold there as it is here, but it could be close. But I digress. So what did we make for power today? I think that's one of the key indicators. We made I think we made 40 kilowatts, 36.6 kilowatts today, which is pretty significant. You can see the peak. You can see where we started generating power at about, there's like 8:15. We're making 0.4, 0.5 kilowatts. And as we ramp up into our day, we get into 2, 3, 8. There's 8 kind of at, 120 in the afternoon. That's kind of where we peaked out in our production, 120 in the afternoon. At 8 kilowatts, that's not bad. We made 36.6 total, but keep in mind, we make twice that in the summer. So this was a perfect day for production. And, we still, I say only, because it was more than enough. It topped us off. We only made 35 kilowatts. But there was enough to charge us up, so we will take it. I do use StreamYard. Yeah, good call. I'm getting used to StreamYard. I like it. I do like it. I've never really streamed before. I've created some videos. I work at a hospital in Boston, and so I do some like painting type workshops for patients and things like that. But I don't tend to stream live, so I like it though. Do you use it? Do you stream at all? Or you know what? Your grandfather should stream. I don't know if he ever would or ever does, but I would. I could have a conversation with him and talk his ear off, I'm sure. So all kinds of stories. Yeah, you have the Tesla factory. That makes sense. I forgot they built that huge factory out there. Yeah, well, thanks. Our power walls might have come from there. That might be where they ship from. I'd say they're California or something. Those are, I think, the 2 big manufacturing plants. We do not have a Tesla factory up here, but we've got a lot of Tesla dealerships. And I think most importantly for us, we have a lot of Tesla superchargers. And actually, that was key to get that. The best part about our vehicle, our Hyundai, is that it powers the house. The second best thing is that we could charge it at the Tesla supercharging stations. I actually went today. That was part of what I was going to talk about. It leads us right into this nice segment here. I was going to talk about preconditioning because I always forget to precondition my vehicle in the wintertime in New England, and it makes a big difference. And I could show you the difference that it makes. This is my food for thought. I could show you the difference that it makes. So here, when I hooked up the car this morning, this was like this was probably like 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. We're at 25%, but you can see I'm only charging at 63. It's telling me 37 minutes to 80%. That's a long time. That's like it should be half that if we were producing the type of power that we would typically produce. So that's producing 63.2, and it's saying a whopping hour 11 minutes to fill up, and still 30, almost 40 minutes to 80%. But you can see that what I didn't do is if I went into battery conditioning on the EV little screen here, and it's just a couple extra steps, but I just got to remember to do it. And I don't tend to remember to do stuff like this, especially if I'm out of season, I'm out of practice with it. But there's a little button that says battery conditioning. And what it does is it just heats the batteries up. So you're not plugging it into the Tesla supercharger cold, because it just won't accept the top rated amount of power. And what is my StreamYard ID? I don't know. How do I find my StreamYard ID? This is new to me. I didn't even know there was a chat function legit until yesterday with your grandfather. And I was like, oh, I could actually see this stuff I could see it on TV. I could watch this live. So I'm learning a lot from you guys too. So I don't know what my StreamYard ID is, honestly. It's probably in my, I don't know, media assets, banners. I got no idea. But if I knew it, if I can find it, my default ID for anything is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spoiler alert: it's not a passcode for anything, but it would be my default ID if I had one. But I don't know. It's a good question. Just like I don't know. Just like I forgot how to battery precondition. So battery preconditioning is important, because if your battery doesn't have the right temperature, it's just not going to accept the right amount of power. On the flip side, about 15 minutes later, you can see it starts to ramp up. Now we're pulling in 116 kilowatts, which is really like 125 is what we should pull in there if nobody else is parked there. Once other people start to park in the bays, in the supercharger bays, you'll start to go down. So if we could typically expect 125 kilowatts when we park and charge up, and somebody comes and parks next to us and charge, we'll drop down to the 80 range. We're going to have to split that power. You can use your Blue Link app to you're right. You are right. That's so my wife is a lot better than that, and I went to do the car, and I'm not as smart as her, so she would have probably Blue Link apped it. I just forgot. And you're right. I could have done it. I could have sat by the fireplace with Huckleberry. I could have been right here next to this guy, and I could have Blue Link app. The Blue Link app is actually really great. I'm not used to it because we've never had a car with that before. So if I'm going to keep tossing out excuses, that would be my excuse for that. But you're right. I think as technology integrates with I don't know, just kind of mobile connectivity, the apps and things like that, it definitely is a game changer in terms of access to the vehicle, information from the vehicle. It's pretty cool. Do you use an app to interface with your vehicle at all? Because it's definitely new. I personally tend to drive my truck. So my truck's like over 10 years old, and it definitely does not have an app. I know it's fancy. I mean, it's got like a screen, which I thought was pretty fancy for the time, but did not have an app. But as you can see here, when I got up to 55% and the preconditioning kicked on and the battery warmed up, I started pulling in the power, the type of power that you want to see. There we are at 125. So that's the 125 you want to see, but it took to 55% to get there just because I didn't precondition. So the moral of the story is when you can, if you can, remember to precondition your battery. And you either do it by going in the car or like super great granddad's grandson said, BJ said, you could do it from the Blue Link app. I don't know. Sounds like you have a Hyundai. It sounds pretty specific. But remember to precondition your battery because it does make a difference. It's worth taking the one extra step, the one extra second to do that. So that's the power check for today. Or that was the food for thought for today. Because I just wanted to remind everybody. It's really just a reminder to myself. So maybe if I say it enough times, I'll start to remember it. And I think it's probably when you get below like 40 degrees or something like that. What were we at for the weather today? Did I get a little weather update? Yep, 29 degrees. Feels like 21. That is a huge improvement from yesterday. If anybody remembers or lived through it alongside me, it was the -3 feels like yesterday, and it was a 10 or a 12 degree temperature Fahrenheit. So it was really, really, really chilly. Like if you went outside with a glass of water, 20 minutes later, that glass of water would be frozen. So it was that cold out. Not the coldest it's going to get, but it was like a little appetizer for how cold it's going to get. So, did I stop? Yeah, stopped it. So you can see, hourly. It's supposed to warm up tomorrow or later today, I suppose, at this point. So we should be getting up to high 30s, 40 degrees. I honestly still have a little bit of grading on the lane. We have a farm lane that our house is down, and so it accumulates a lot of potholes from the tractors and just from general use. And so I have a lot of grading to do. So tomorrow, this weekend, it looks like 39 tomorrow, 38 on Sunday. So we'll take that. That's a good setup. And 29, honestly, it's not that bad for right now. You start to be into winter when you look at 29 and you're like, it's not that bad actually. So that's good. So that's my food for thought. I have more music today because that wasn't even my food for thought. I got sidetracked because my food for thought really was, let me go into this. I thought this was pretty cool. This is an electric motorcycle. I'm going to file this. Sorry, I have a little runny nose. That's one of the downsides of it getting colder is that we get colds. I also have a compromised immune system, so that doesn't help things at the end of the day. But this does. This makes me happy in a weird way, a wonky way. File this into yesterday when we were talking about off-grid homes. That one for sale in the Catskills, and they tell you, like a little slice of information on it. It's got 15 solar panels, 23 solar panels. It's got the ability to produce 15 kilowatt hours of power, but they don't really put it in any context, and they don't really give you enough information to compress it all into something, functional analytics. And so that's kind of like this bike too. I don't mind it as much in this bike because this bike is a prototype and it's not a house for sale that is marketing itself as off-grid. And so to not have the details on this, I don't mind as much, to be honest. But the article was interesting. And so the article on this vehicle, wasn't even a motorcycle manufacturer that made this. Does it even say Solaris? It says Solaris. It's a let's see. Put the images in here. So when I first came across this solar-powered bike, I wondered which bike maker could be behind it. Someone well-established like Honda, or I'm going to make this a little bigger because my eyes are not good. They are. Oh, that didn't even make it bigger. It didn't make it bigger. It just moved it across the screen. Turns out none of them. This ingenious breakthrough comes from an architecture and design firm. That's cool. So this is where we start to get some cross-pollination, some hybridized design, and we start to see how different perspectives can inform different industries. So I think it's pretty interesting. There were no details on how much power it could produce. I did read the article. I kind of skimmed through it. The pictures, though, are pretty cool. I'm going to fast forward to the pictures because that was, I think, my favorite part. It has these arms that come out. So when you're riding the motorcycle, apparently you can't tell that it has these, these revealed solar panels, these kind of like a fan-like opening solar panels on these arms that kind of swing out. I mean, there's so many questions. How durable is this? How reliable is this? What kind of wind can this stay in? You leave this thing out, you go out to eat, one little gust, and your bike ends up in the ocean, or parasailing or something like that. I could see there being a lot of questions for this, but the concept, because a motorcycle is just not going to need as much battery power as a vehicle is, or as a bus is, or as a house is. And so in theory, a couple of smaller panels and you could produce a decent amount of power for this thing. So I just thought it was neat to see a different, and again, from an architecture firm. YouTube has a studio. Oh, see, and then you get distracted. I like it though. I get distracted with the comments because now I'm so engaged. Should I use the YouTube studio? Is that better? I don't know. I just got used to this thing. Somebody else I know that I work with uses this, so I had like a little bit of an introduction to it. But I like YouTube. YouTube, is what I consume a lot of my media on. And so I do like that as a platform. So maybe I should look into that. It's good looking out. Good looking out, BJ. That's actually real usable information as opposed to this motorcycle that probably won't ever get produced. Granted, I concede that fact that this won't ever get produced, but it's pushing the boundary of the fact that we're even having this conversation. This type of hardware is available and these types of meetings are happening, I think is pretty cool. So that was my food for thought. Just a little thing. I don't usually seen more. I have started to see more electric motorcycles. I personally have an electric bike that goes about 35 miles an hour. So for our town, that is more than sufficient to zip around everywhere locally. Really can get anywhere I need to in the summertime. It gets all jammed up in our town because we have a lot of tourists here. And so I have a little Ubco, a utility bike company electric bike, and it's great on the farm too because it's super off-road. I should show that. I should give a little demo on that at some point because that bike is awesome, and I could see an adaptation of that where at least maybe there's a supplemental plug-in on the farm that I could have a little power station and plug my bike in and get it all charged up. I think that would be pretty nifty, but I digress. Alas. Well, moving into the finally moving into Made Me Look. Made Me Look was a different one today because it's a new musical artist, and he just had a piano set up. Let me see if I can. He just had a piano set up, and it just says play the Blue Keys. And I was like, what is this? This looks cool. Hadn't heard this before. This, I really was digging this. I got to play it on my, see, this is what a problem I had. This is the problem I had yesterday was that, oh no, maybe that'll work. Yep. All right. Can you hear that? Hopefully that comes through. There we go.
What are you doing? What's this?
I liked it too because it was kind of like had like a Curb Your Enthusiasm or Seinfeld or the whimsical production quality to this video was also cool. But I digress.
You can, yeah.
This isn't a trap. You're not gonna give me into a payday loan after I do this, right?
Nah, man, no. No strings attached, dude. It's just music.
He doesn't look like a loan officer.
Just the blue.
Yep. Try the red keys. Nailed it. Yeah, that's it, dude. That's it. All right, so it goes like this. It goes like blue keys, red keys, blue keys, red keys. Yes.
All right.
I could play it.
Okay.
I could play this.
Red
Blue
keys. Blue keys.
We're funking it up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Red keys.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh my god. I feel it. Okay.
Blue keys. Yeah. Can you keep it going?
Yes.
All right, we're about to lock in. Here we go.
They like.
1, 2, 3.
Is this?
Baby, don't call me. I'd rather be on your mind again.
Oh my god.
Baby, don't come knocking. I'd rather be in your head than in your bed. And if you're gonna leave, stay. I don't wanna know.
I love that. I love people just spontaneously making music and art and connection and making people happy. So that was that, that was my made me look, and it really did. I'm going to keep my eyes out on these on this kind of thing, and keep spreading the joy, because that's what I'm trying to do here. You just set up a schedule. So do you stream on YouTube? Because that would be easier too. Because then I could consistently probably post at a certain time. I could do that on StreamYard too. I just got to get better at it, frankly. I just got to get more consistent with it, and I'm just a little more comfortable with it, frankly. It's not like I could go stand at my easel and paint for 8 hours, and I do that a lot. I can do even overnight. But when it comes to like setting up my computer and loading up all of the assets, the media assets that I want to, I just got used to this. But I think ultimately, YouTube is I like it. If you use it, are you Super Great Granddad on YouTube too, or do you have a different handle? Because I would definitely check it on out. I've got one more. I saw one more good musical bit too. Let me see if I can pull it up here. There's actually a whole bunch of them. Let me pull this up. I'm going to pull up one more musical interlude here to play us out. And I am curious to hear. Ari, so we'll go Ari at Home too, just because I'll check it. I'll try to find you on YouTube if you've got a stream on YouTube. I'll check it out. I don't know. I am a neophyte at this. I love technology. I really, really love technology, and I grew up with technology. As Homer Simpson said, I grew up watching TV, and I turned out TV. So I'm trying to, but it moves so fast. I'm trying to integrate it all. I'm trying to find out like what parts of technology. It's like a Swiss Army knife. I got this. You buy this big Swiss Army knife. I'm like, I'm only going to use 4 of these tools. So like, I don't know why I carry this huge thing around. So I just got to figure out like which of these tools I'm going to use a lot. And maybe it is just like straight to YouTube yet. No videos yet. Post something. That's my game. The hardest part is just pressing play and posting something. And I talk nonsense in my own head all day. So I figured I might as well share it. And it was pretty awesome because I got to meet a American hero. I got to hear about another American hero. And I never would have made that connection with a different generation if it wasn't for this crazy newfangled technology. So it's pretty neat. So no videos yet. Post something. I'll watch it. Let me know. Keep me posted. I'm Jonathan the Painter. I'm at Jonathan the Painter on Instagram too. If you're on Instagram or I've got a website. So Jonathan the Painter. That is me. But I love living off the grid, and so I figured we've been doing it for 5 years, and I might as well talk about it. But this was the Ari at Home one too that I saw that I thought this was really inspiring musically. I love The Simpsons. I looked it up the other day. The Simpsons are on like the anecdotally like the 648th season, but realistically they're on the 32nd season. I think The Simpsons 32nd or 36th or 37th it is, which is I remember when they came out, and I remember when the Tracy Ullman show, when they aired the first kind of like animated short. It was, if I can recall, now I'm going in my way back files here. I think it was essentially Homer strangling Bart. It was like a YU Little, very early on YU Little, but it was on the Tracy Ullman show, and it was back in probably 1980 something or other. And I was like, this is hysterical. I hope this show sticks. And here we are, 475 years later, still pumping out The Simpsons, who, by the way, have made every major prediction in globally over the last 36 years. So Homer is definitely a Nostradamus. Homer is plugged in on a level that I don't think the regular society really appreciates yet. We know our Confuciuses, we know our Jesuses, we know our Allahs, but Homer, I mean, the wisdom of Homer, cannot be understated. So I subscribe to that theory. I subscribe to that religion, and I grew up with pulling the crayon out of my brain too. So I'm glad to have other Simpsons lovers out there. I could talk Simpsons all day long. But also, I found this Ari at Home, which I thought was pretty nifty. I'm going to play this too.
I'm a huge fan.
Oh, thank you, man. Are you trying to get on?
Nah, I'm in a rush. I'm catching the last train.
Oh, okay.
This dude was all packed up.
Yeah, they're all
and ready
speakers.
to
So
go.
these are
It's
two.
a pool noodle for like someone would appreciate this. This is how I do it.
He's
Oh,
so
that's
excited.
fire,
He's
man. You're not trying to
running
do
over
something
this
right now?
deer.
I kind of am. That's my next question.
Oh. What kind of vibe we making? What are you thinking?
I kind of wanted to let you lead the way and I'll follow. I just want to give you a bass line. You can even sample and let it loop while I'm unplugged.
Let me give you a little beat first.
Grooving. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but this gentleman playing the bass is playing his bass. Well, he's playing it with two hands, but he's modified. He's got a modified version of playing because it looks like his fingers, his hand. There was something. There's something that he's had to deal with, and he's had a challenge in his life, and now he's picked up this guitar, and he is crushing it. Two nice bass lines.
I got the headset like I work at IT. People in the crowd busy eyeing me. What we doing on this block right in front of Penn Station, hitting on the pavement. It's really live entertainment. Didn't see you, bro. You gotta wait in the line. I'm kidding, homie. I'ma wait for your time, getting shine. Watch me, I get on the mic and I remind. Real hip hop here, it will survive. Every time I do it, New York City gotta roar. The way that we be rocking this, the music we in store. We do it just for fun with the air in your lungs. Ari on the keyboards and you laying the drums.
Dude, I'm a huge fan.
I thought that was pretty cool. We get a double header. We went and played the Blue Keys. We went with Ari at Home and the heavy bass line. So it just that makes me happy. Gives me energy. Gives me power for my day. And it's light. And that's what we do. We try to keep it light here on the Off-Grid Farm because we need to keep it light because we got to keep our batteries charged. And there's a lot of light in the world. Definitely, we see it with the musicians. And we see it with Helen and Fred Locke. I really did. I looked up I looked up information about them. I looked up your grandma's obituary. Awesome story. I would love to check out the video if you send it to me or post it. Really impressive. There's way more good in this world than anything else. So if our little conversation has taught me anything, it's definitely that. Brought a lot of light into my life and a lot of happiness, and I appreciate it because you're getting me started on my weekend off on a good foot. So thanks you, brother. BJ, post something. I'll keep my eyes out. I'm going to try to keep posting here more often, and you're a nice, inspiring reason why. So keep being you down there in Texas. Stay warm. Hopefully it's warmer than the 30 to 29 degrees it is here. And I'll catch you soon, for sure. Take it easy, brother.